Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Centered Healers page where we talk about all things in healing and what that looks like, being a centered healer, and how does that work in this world, what it takes to get there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I am a firm believer that all things work together as one and that there's not just one um, key thing that gets you to be centered in your healing. And that is what I'm passionate about and what I love sharing with other people, that it's a journey and that journey is completely perfect for each person. So again, my name is Debbie Joe, and you found your way to Centered Healers. This page channel on YouTube is going to have interviews with different types of people and healers and what that looks like. Cover Reiki, Kundalini, yoga, meditation, quantum physics, all things that has to do with energy, and hopefully some holistic doctors that I've reached out to will get back and talk to me about coming on and sharing what that looks on their side, because doctors are important just as much as energy. It is an all-encompassing thing. Whether you're passionate about power walking, running, cycling, all things have a reason why it works for you. And what we sometimes forget as healers is that we are all in this together, and that when one rises, we all rise. So the times that each of you rise, it helps me rise too. So that was a little bit about myself and a preview of our main talking points. I'm going to try to keep this around 15-20 minutes, just, you know, I guess just to share. I'm very nervous and this is super new for me. So I'm typically on a phone or doing things like that. A little bit more about me is I do have a degree in business management and intuitive for people seeking and understanding how to grow their business authentically and organically and look at it as a holistic wholeness. I am a Reiki practitioner, master. I have a channeling light practitioner certification. So it all goes together in being an intuitive for a business or another energetic that is wanting to expand their business and finding their niche. So that is what I do. And I am bringing this to where we can all come together, collaborate, see what works and see what doesn't work, because you can coach it all day long until you start practicing it. And then when you start practicing it, you realize how intricate things become. So you can follow us at www.centeredhealers.com. It's where I try to put a little humor into my healing journey, which started about 20 years ago with a very loving mother and helping her daughter overcome her hyperactivity and being able to think she could do all things. So define what means to be a centered healer. I think we've really much just covered that. Centered healing is coming from the heart center, right? It's really super important to be empathetic, compassionate in the times that we live. I'm not a doomsday believer. I believe that we'll have some hiccups, but we'll overcome. It's being an overcomer, right? Things happen for us, not to us. It all aligns in the whole thinking and shifting of the mentality. Are you coming from it with love and understanding, or are you coming from it from victimization and frustration and aggravation? If you are always finding the bad in things, is a mirror reflection, right? Something that my mother taught me when I was younger is the whole mirror. Debbie Joe, walk around and understand that there is a mirror above your head, and it reflects this universe, and world reflects everything back to you as you send out. So if you see something and it aggravates you, annoys you, irritates you, that is probably a trait, a characteristic, or something in yourself that you don't like in others, but might possibly do yourself. I know that's a brain bender, and it took me many years to understand that, until the moment I realized somebody was smacking gum. And then my so very loving friend at the time said, "Well, you're doing that right now." And I was like, oh, that's what my mom meant. You know, it's life experiences. Being centered in the heart is life experiences, and compounding that and how that looks and where that goes. The direction of where you want to be a centered healer, or just being a centered human being coming from a compassionate, loving place, is all individually perfect. It's all written for you, not anyone else. And that's my approach with every person that I help coach or encourage or cheerlead for and sort through their problems, is that that's story is their story. They're the lead character of that movie. How does that look? And how does our interactions with all of our supporting actresses and actors help either build that or destruct it? And, you know, you've got good characters and bad characters in movies. What movie are you putting out and playing? You know, I'm the lead actress in my movie. And my supporting my supporting other fellow people are part of that movie. Are they nurturing, uplifting, encouraging? Or are they critical, frustrating, downing you? So your movie absolutely displays back to you what you've chosen. Everything in this world is simply a choice. Do I choose to have characters that are going to support, uplift, and honor me? Or am I going to choose characters that are going to tear me down and tell you you can't, or that that's a silly idea, or this or that, right? You know, it's just part of the whole tree of life and what we're going up the ladder in Kabbalah. So the journey of the self-care and self-discovery. So that kind of covers that in the sense of, what is your journey? What are you going to discover about yourself, and what works for you and what doesn't work for you? It's all beautifully written. And I say that a lot because I think that me as an energetic and as a healer, if you want to even consider that, I'm the universal cheerleader for all coaches. Like, I'd rather be coaching and helping. I heal and I do Reiki healings, but my true love is to coach and help somebody and let them and see their success, right? Because when they're being successful, I'm being successful. And when they're figuring out how to live a more authentic life, then that's a win for me. That just simply just I explode with joy and happiness when that happens. Building strong foundations is another key thing that I want to touch base with. I've got my notes, so I have to have them. We're a whole squirrel. Holistic healing, if we want to call it that, or just even a naturalistic approach to oneself, right? It is a journey first and foremost, but the foundation that you put into it is what is going to push you over and get you through. In my meditation journey, because that is a huge element into being a healer and understanding our soul purpose, and, you know, as people call it, tapping in, or, you know, turning inward to align with our true source selves. The meditation is key. And that was the hardest struggle I ever, and I still, some days, depending on exterior things going on, it's one of the hardest things to really center and be in the moment of. So that foundation, whether it's yogi or kundalini breathing, or, you know, breath work or running, or however, there has to be a certain amount of commitment and willpower. Like, there has to be a certain determination about yourself that everything in the past has not worked, and I'm going to see this through. Like, that has to be so strong and so large that, you know, if you miss a day, you don't miss 2 days. Like, you get to that point that we all know, to change a habit or to start a new one, it takes 90 to 144 days, depending on the person. Me, it was probably more on the 144 days because I live my life moment to moment and trying to be present. So some days my time to meditate wouldn't line up with the things that were going on in my world. So that was super key to getting to this point of who I am today from who I wasn't yesterday in the past. And understanding the key element to this is truly understanding that future, present, and past are all in the now. And I had a tough one with that, just simply because I have a very active mind. And the biggest battles I've ever had to overcome are the ones in my head, right? So truly being in the moment for 10 minutes at the beginning of meditation and building my foundation, it felt like 10 years, but I stayed the course. I keep trying to stay the course, and because it's trial and error every day, pushing my boundaries, holding my meditation, holding, whatever state that you're trying to reach. Mine's typically theta state, and we can get into that and in a whole nother level, but doing the research, understanding, finding the people that have been out there doing it, learning it, perfecting it, teaching it, and honoring. I love teachers that honor that it's a struggle, but if you follow through with it, you're going to be thankful. Like, I had to find those type of people. I can give you a list in my thing, my description, if you like. Then that strong foundation will lead to the next step, which is compassionate communication, right? We find ourselves lacking the ability to communicate empathetically and compassionately to the other people going along the journey. And this is something that is super, I don't want to say super easy because it's never easy, but I'm compassionate with the people that just don't get it. It's the bridge. Everybody can tap into this energy. Everybody can tap into being intuitive and understanding what that all means. We're that powerful beings. We're that powerful person that exists in this realm, and we're here at this time for a special point, and that's intricately beautiful if you think about it. So when you're communicating with people, and I have to balance what's going on in my head because my nerves are there, right? And this is practice, and I will hit the live button on this. So if you've made it this far, thanks. When you're connecting with people, remember each journey is different, and we tend to have, as healers and empathetics and energetics and channelers and intuitives and impact, like all these things, right? Like all these titles or whatever we identify as, what worked for you necessarily isn't going to work for the other person. So an effective communication form that I use with each person is mirroring how they're understanding. Like, if pay attention to the behavior of the individual if you're on a Zoom call or that type of stuff, or face to face. Feel into their way of healing, like feel in for that. Like, I think sometimes intuitives just intuitively know, yes, this, and this, but how would that help that person? And because baby steps are another thing that goes with effective communication. There's no one right way. And secondly, sometimes people need to have little bitty steps, right? Nurture and to nurture those successes and to praise those. That's why I'm an energetic cheerleader, because just hitting subscribe for a website for one of my friends was massive. She overcame some huge hurdles and struggles with that. So I'm there to support, cheer, and encourage because it's a big deal. It's putting yourself out there in a way that is needed. Like we're all needed. Balancing the energy and boundaries. This is a hang up that I have. Strategies for doing that. I believe in all things. I have crystals. I have, elements represented behind me. I have accomplishments. I have all these things to uplift me and remind me that those are tangible things that allows me to, whether it's holding something in my hand or however, but energetically, that that's a that goes back to people and what works for them. Some people need to go run 3 miles, and I used to when I was younger. And so those things individually, again, where there's not a punch ticket for each thing. It's a naturalistic overall approach. That's why it's being a centered healer. I'm just going to hit on just a couple more things because I just dealing through with it. Inspiring others and making a difference is one of my last points before I wrap this up. We just kind of touched base on that, encouraging others to embrace their inner balance, find their inner self, what that aligns to, share ways. This is my way of sharing to inspire others and encourage. I'm always here for you. You can reach out to me. Take a phone call, do whatever, even if it's just to meet and chat, like see my nerves. Whew. So I need to center. So encouraging, uplifting, and honoring each person on their walk. This is expansion and pushing boundaries for me. And if you're here, then you've witnessed how it is being in the moment to overcoming some things that I struggle with. The ripple effect. This is huge in my life. This goes kind of along with the butterfly theory. The ripple effect is when we turn backwards and we're authentic and we share with people in the moment, just like we just did, where I needed to center because my emotions were starting to nerves and everything, and are relatable. That's for everyone. And it's creating community to know that it's not just one way. And I think that that's the most important thing that we can take from this. It's the importance. That's the thing, is we're all on this journey. And sometimes I specifically have looked to other people and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll never get there. Or how do I hit live on YouTube or Facebook? What do I need to do? I haven't shared Center Healers with anyone, simply because it's taking me courage just to create. Blogging is kind of easy. It's okay. I haven't shared that with anyone either because of insecurities. We all have them. Healers have them. We're all a bag of, emotions. Being centered is working through them. And when we expand past those insecurities, those blocks, is what energetics like to, I use it, blockages. What our brain is telling us that don't do that, like, oh, don't do that, is exactly what we need to do. And that is why I'm doing this today. So if anything sums up everything today, or what centered healing is my focus is if the universe is saying don't do it, do it. And today I'm overcoming by doing it. And staying on here longer than just a minute or two, which I typically will just make a minute or two funny and be done. I thank you from the bottom of my heart and my soul that if you've made it this far, I greatly appreciate it. I value you. It means the world. And I hope that something in this resonates with you, and that you have an understanding that not every journey is perfect, because mine has not been. It's been ebbs and flows the whole way. It's been trying something and not working out. It's been go this direction and it didn't feel right, so go into another direction. And the one thing that feels right is this centered healers, and bringing people together and being authentic in the journey that each person has, right, is the most authentic thing that I've felt through and intuitively been brought, because it just happened. It just happened. And now we're here today, beginning a journey, walking forward, and to see where it goes. So thank you very much for being here. I hope that if you're needing anything, if you're wanting coaching, if you'd like to come on and share your blunders of your journey and we can giggle and have a great time, please feel free to reach out at me. I'll put my email in the description as well as my blog, and hope to connect to each and every single one of you. Share if this resonates. Again, I don't have a lot of videos because it's just starting, but save and like and subscribe if you'd like. We'll see you soon, and hopefully bringing on some really cool people in the next few days. Much love to each and every single one of you, and go do something that you feel like, nah, I shouldn't do it. Go do it. Just try it. Just do. Overcome it. Be the overcomer that this world needs. Like being an intuitive, being a centered healer, we need more. We just need more. Who cares? What does it matter? I'm learning that myself, so I'm sharing that from a very special place. So much love. Have a great day.